Hey guys, what is up? It is Seatin here, the self-proclaimed man of legends. Now, in this fairly short video, hopefully, I'm going to quickly be explaining how to play Purifier in a really simple and easy way. Purifier is probably the easiest healing spec in the game at the moment. It's fairly straightforward. Purifier is used for tank and single target healing. It has little to no sustainable AoE healing. However, it does have one of the strongest, if not strongest, AoE healing cooldowns in the game, which is on a 1.5 minute cooldown. But regardless of which, I'm going to talk a bit about the spec. So this, at the moment, I'm led to believe is the best spec. It's 61 Purifier, 15 Sentinel, and 0 whatever. It literally doesn't matter where you have that point. It won't really make a difference at all. Now, a few things that you need to be aware of. Three main things in regards to the talents are something called Clear the Coals. So your single target and healing absorption spells have a 10% chance to remove burnout. So basically this is whenever you cast a shield, you'll notice that the target gets a debuff called burnout, which means you cannot shield them until that expires. So whenever you heal them, you know it has a chance to a 10% chance to remove that debuff, so just be aware that that's going to be occasionally removed. Now, the next thing you want to keep in mind is a talent called Flare Up. Now this means if your symbol of the torch or symbol of the sun, which are your shields, are destroyed within 3 seconds of being applied, they instantly get reapplied. So bear that in mind when you're shielding people, that if somebody's likely gonna, the shield's likely going to expire in that duration, they're going to instantly get another shield, which doubles the effectiveness of that shield. And the final thing is called Feed the Flames, and this means that basically any target that has a shield on gets a 20-second buff, increasing the healing that they receive by 20%. So with those three things in mind, there is nothing I can exactly tell you about Purifier. You just need to make the best of what tools you have. Now, it has a fairly simple standard rotation in regards to tank healing, so I'm just going to show you what to do on this dummy at the moment. So ideally, if you're healing a tank, what you do is you'd put a shield up first to get the 20% increased healing on them, and you'd cast one Ward of Flame and channel that to the full duration. Now, every tick of Ward of Flame that you channel, you get reduced cast time on your Ward of Fire by 0.5 seconds. Now, some people say that the most effective way to do it is channel 2 Ward of Flames so that you get 6 stacks and that your Ward of Fire is instant like that. But I think that's actually quite wrong, just due to the fact, look, due to the fact that you have a 1.5 second global cooldown. So look, if I cast Ward of Flame, channel it to the full duration, I get 3 stacks. Now if I cast Ward of Fire, that times in perfectly with the global cooldown, whereas if I do it instantly, then it still consumes a global cooldown. So usually you should just, the standard rotation would be Symbol of the Sun, your big shield, Ward of Flame, and then a Ward of Fire, and then just rinse and repeat Ward of Flame, and then Ward of Fire, and whenever Clear the Coals comes up, you can shove another shield on them. And that is basically how you do it, the very simple healing. Now, the other tools that you have is, as a Purifier, is an ability called Latent Blaze, which I like to combo with Touch the Light. Basically, this is something you can put on a target, which means if they drop below 30% health, they're going to get about a 15 to 20k heal instantly, which will top up pretty much anyone, providing you have a fair bit of decent gear. So this should ideally be applied to both of the tanks and kept on both of the tanks in any sort of raid encounters. Maybe if you have that one healer or person that often tends to spend a bit too long in the fire, you might want to consider chucking a Latent Blaze on them as well. But obviously the tanks will be your priority the most of the time if you're a Purifier. Now, the other cooldowns that you have a cooldown called Fiery Will, which will increase the healing and absorption granted by your fire spells by 50%. Now, this spell should only really be comboed with Rite of the Forge. So basically what Rite of the Forge does is it applies a shield every 3 seconds for 15 seconds, and this shield absorbs about 15k damage. So this combined with Fiery Will just makes it an absolutely insanely powerful cooldown to use on a tank. It basically means, you know, they're almost not going to die for that duration, providing the boss hasn't enraged or anything. So it's extremely powerful. Now, in regards to AoE healing, what you have is you have Gathering Flames, which basically puts a small shield on 10 random party members, and when those 10 random party members take damage, it will heal them for 2 to 3k. So, in all honesty, it's not that powerful, but it's that just little bit if there's going to be a really big AoE incoming, just to keep them alive. Now, the really powerful thing about Purifier is the cooldown Flame of Life. Now this restores health equal to 300% of the cleric's maximum health to up to 10 group or raid members over 6 seconds. So basically this means the 10 targets that you hit with this ability, they are not going to die for the next 6 seconds unless they're all getting one shot. So it's just stupidly overpowered, and this comes in very useful for fights like Volan, Crucia's Orbital Strikes, and various other, you know, oh shit situations, because it literally just tops everybody up and then keeps them around full health for that 6-second duration, while reducing their damage taken by 20% and increasing their damage by 5%, so it's alright. Apart from that, you have Spiritual Conflagration, which is sort of a big tank channel cooldown, which will heal the tank and also give them a big absorb. Basically, it's like a bit more powerful version of Ward of the Flame on a 1-minute cooldown. So that is pretty much it. It's very situational Purifier, but the standard rotation is put up Symbol of the Sun, Water Flame, Water Fire, Water Flame, Water Fire. So, you know, it's very simple. If there are fights with heavy movement, you may want to consider doing 2 wards of flame, and then, you know, you can move. But in all honesty, most fights you can find a place or some sort of position that you can be stationary, and then it's just water flame, water fire, and repeat that until you're really awesome. So, as I said, you know, Puri's mainly sort of a tank and spot healer, so if you're ever assigning Purifier to constantly heal a raid, you are an idiot. So do not do that. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for Purifier. I think the only thing to other sort of dabble in and make you guys aware of is the limit on shielding. Now you can only Symbol of the Sun and Symbol of the Torch. You can only have 3 of these on up at any time, so you can only shield 3 members with Symbol of the Sun and 3 members with Symbol of the Torch. So a total of 6 people can be shielded by you. If you apply another shield, then the first one that you applied will be taken off. Okay, so you can have 3 of each shield up at any time, but if you start applying more shields, then the first one that you applied disappeared, and so on and so forth. So just moving on finally, this is a really good example. Well, when I say really good example, yeah, it is a really good example of how overpowered a good Purifier can be. Now, you'll notice a lot of the members of the raid dying, and that actually isn't my fault. That's due to Painful not running out when he has the big sort of cleavy debuff, the judgment thing. So that's the tank's fault, not my fault that they're getting one shot. So basically, for those of you sort of aware with Triumph of the Dragon Queen mechanics, this boss places a stacking debuff, gradually reducing the health of the tank. Now, with Purifier, because there is so much healing coming from the shielding, you'll notice I managed to keep Painful alive on about 800 health for about over 2 minutes, and I probably could go on longer just because it's like so good, the shielding that keeps on coming up. And this also gives you a quick chance to see how Purifier's sort of well, I play Purifier in a raid environment. I mean, there may be people better than me, but I say, you know, considering he's taken no damage for about 2 minutes, that I'm doing a pretty good job of playing Purifier. So, yeah, you'll see Water Flame, and then, you know, I double channel Water Flame, which has gone everything I've said against my guide. I need to rewrite it now. But no, this is essentially it. You know, you just want to keep shields. This is a tank healing spec, and this is the most fun thing in the world to do. So yeah, guys, if you have any questions in regards to Purifier at all, you know, as always, I'll be more than happy to answer any of them. Just leave them in the comments, and I'll get around to them eventually. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the video. I hope you learned something. I'm actually hopefully going to do quite a few more videos, you know, coming up in the next few weeks, or if maybe you're watching this in about 6 months' time, just if you've got any recommendations for videos you'd like to see. I mean, you've gotten this far in the video, so you must be a pretty loyal viewer. Just leave them in the comments below, and I'll have a look through them. Once again, thank you for watching. I've been Seatin, the self-proclaimed man of legends. Have a good day, or night if you're about to go to bed. Sleep well.